Hello guys, welcome to the first lecture of control systems. In this lecture, we'll be talking about basics of a control systems, right? So let us first understand what is systems, right? So if you want to see what is system, I have written a small definition here. Apart from the definition, let us try to understand it in terms of practical words, right? Say you want some output, right? Assume you are in a summer season and you desire air. That means it is very hot in a particular room, so you want to keep a fan. So what do you do, sir? You get an induction motor, you get blades for it, you fix the fan, and the input voltage you give it to the system. Then what happens? The fan keeps rotating. That means system should basically have an input and an output. Now to achieve that input and output, we will arrange certain components or certain physical elements in a particular sequence to get an output. That is what a simple definition of system is. It can be any system. This is an arrangement of physical quantities in a sequence to perform a specific task. In this example, I told you that you wanted air. So what did you do, sir? You bought a single phase induction motor, you attached some wings to it, you connected it to the supply, it started rotating. So it has become a system. Or let us talk about power system. In power system also you have physical quantities arranged in a particular sequence. That means you have generating unit, you have transmission lines, you have distribution, you have transformer, everything is arranged in a specific fashion. Why? To get a specific task done. What is the power is being transmitted from generating station to load, right? Or you take communication system. So any system, it will have certain input, certain desired, certain output, and to achieve that there are some physical quantities being kept in a particular sequence, right? So that is what is the perfect example of a system, sir. So let me draw a simple diagram. So assume this is a fan we have, this is a fan we are talking about. Say this is a plug. So you bought two wires and you connected it here, sir, right? So this fan started rotating like this and you are getting air out of it, right? I can feel the air, sir. Now what is the meaning of control system? Control system is, now you connected it, all right, it is getting air. So after some time you felt that the noise is more or the air which is coming is more. Now you wanted to control the speed of this. Now you have desired that the speed of this has to be controlled, right? That means controlling quantity of interest. See, sir, this is very important. What you are controlling, sir? You are controlling quantity of interest. Whatever is the quantity of interest. In this specific example, I am controlling my fan speed, sir, right? Whereas if you take power system, you want to control the voltage, you want to control the current. In say communication system, you want to control the bit rate, right? So controlling the quantity of interest. Controlling means what, sir? Controlling can be, it can be three things, sir. Controlling can be what? Actually changing, monitoring, or yeah, so I can do two things, sir. Controlling is basically, if you want to change it, you can change it, increase it, decrease it, monitor it, take a decision according to it. Because one particular action can decide another particular action, right? So any quantity of interest you have, so you want to do these things, any quantity of interest in a system, because it has to be a system. In a system you want to control a quantity of interest according to the desired output. So there should be some specific desired output, and for that what we will do, sir? We will try to control any equipment. Now this is basically voltage is there. So what do you do, sir? Someone suggested that you bought this like this. So you go to the market, you had your fan like this, it has wings like this. Now what do you do, sir? This is your plug pocket, right? Now instead of directly connecting it to the wire, you connect it to a regulator. He told that buy a regulator also. If you buy a regulator, what is basically regulator, sir? A regulator simply regulates the speed. A regulator simply regulates the speed. So by regulating, so you have some switch here, you have certain knobs which you can rotate, and by controlling that knobs, what you can do, sir? You can achieve desired speed. So if you are able to control a quantity of interest, that becomes the control systems. Very simple, sir, right? Now if I want to show this in mathematical perspective, see, sir, how will I show it? your system was like this. Now I'll be using block diagrams because every time it cannot be a fan, it can be any system, sir, right? So basically, how does a system will look like? System will have specific input it will have and some output it will have. So this is the basic diagram of a system. Whereas I can call this system as, I can also call this as a plant or process. So this is actually the system, sir. That means the fan which I bought, the action whichever it is taking, that is basically your system. So I can call it as a plant or a process which does the work, right? This does the work, sir. Basically what did it do? This does the work. This does the actual work. Now, if I want to draw a block diagram, basic block diagram of a control system, then what do you have, sir? You should have something called a controller. What should you have, sir? You should have something called a controller. And that should go to plant or process. Plant or process. So when you have this, then what is the input coming here? This input is called reference input, sir, right? And this output is called controlled output. Now, what is the input going to the system actually? The input going to the system is controlled input. What is this, sir? Controlled input. These terms are very important in understanding, sir, right? If we go back to this supply is my reference input, isn't it? This is my reference input. Here this was simply input, sir. Here this was simply input. The wind coming out was output, right? Now we have put a controller here. After putting the controller, which is actually regulator, right? So you can change means regulate also you can say, right? So when you put a controller, the output, that is wind, this is controlled wind because you can change it now. So compared to this one will become a bit costly, right? So what will be this controller, sir? It will be an equipment which is not plant, but it could be generally cheaper than the plant, right? So this will be the controller, sir. So we give reference input to this, we get reference output from the controller, we get controlled input, and the output which you get is controlled output, right? Now if I want to show this in terms of another block diagram, it will be like this, sir. This I can call it as controlled plant. What did I do, sir? I just combined this and I call this as G of S. I've simply called it as G of S. What is the meaning of G of S? Now I have modeled this plant. You don't know how to do that, but let us assume that I have modeled it and I have written in frequency domain, that is J omega domain, and I have labeled it as G of S, right? Then the input will be what, sir? The input I call this as R of S. Why is the meaning R of S, sir? The meaning of R of S is reference input is R of S, right? From now on, whenever you see input, you will write it as R of S only, right? And what will be the output, sir? The output will be C of S. Why C of S? Because it's a controlled output. That's why it is C of S, right? So if you want the gain, output by input is gain. So you can write C of S by R of S what? You can write the C of S by R of S as G of S. Or you can say that when this R of S is given to this controlled plant or this particular control system, I can also simply call this as a control system. Why? Because my system is nothing but plant and I am controlling it, so it becomes control system. So the output becomes what, sir? The output C of S will simply become your R of S into G of S, right? Very good, sir. Next, in this control system only, there are two types of control systems. One is open loop control system. The open loop control system will be like this, sir. So whenever I write G of S, you will have to understand that it is the process and or I can write it like this also, sir, just for your explanation. I can write it like this, sir. This is the controller here, and there is plant here, isn't it? This is the plant, and this is the output, this is the input. So this is your input, this is the output, sir. Similarly, here what can I say? Here also same diagram, but a slight modification. This is the controller, this is the plant or process, and this is the output, R of S, sorry, C of S. This is R of S. Similarly, this is R of S. Sorry, sir, really sorry. This is output, no? This is C of S. And this is R of S. Now, let us try to understand what is the basic definition of your open loop system, sir. Your open loop system, if you see, open loop, try to understand, sir. Open loop implies no loop, isn't it? That means no feedback. I can also call it as no feedback. Or I can say that the controller action is independent of the output. That means whatever output you are getting, this controller has, so whatever output you get, your controller action doesn't depend on it, right? Whereas if you say closed loop, what is the meaning of closed loop, sir? The loop is closing. Loop is closed. That means I can say that feedback is present. That means some sensor is used, sir. Some sensor is used. Because why do you need feedback, sir? Because you need some sensing. No sensing is done in here. So basically we already got the desired output, isn't it? We already got your controlled output or desired output. Now why do you need closed loop and open loop system again, sir? The basic advantage from going from closed loop to open loop is automation, sir. Whenever you want to do automation, you will have to definitely build a closed loop control system. You'll have to definitely build a closed loop control system, right? So whenever you see, if I want to, or if I quote the examples, you will easily understand the difference, sir. If I quote the examples here, there are n number of numerous examples, sir, right? In open loop control system, the first example you see is basically the traffic light. Or say your washing machine, or say your coffee maker. In all of these things, your output will work for a specific amount of time. That means if you are talking about traffic lights, it will not sense how much traffic is there, and based on that it will not change the red light time and green light time, right? Similarly, washing machine, even if you put full of clothes or even if you put one cloth, whatever settings you make, that settings you are giving to the control panel, sir, right? If you take the washing machine example, the control board which you get on the washing machine is a controller, right? It's a basic electronic part. The plant is what, sir? The motor which rotates it. That is the plant, right? So you are setting up the controllers irrespective of the output. That means whether the clothes have become clean or not, it doesn't care. It simply does what, sir? It simply rotates it for a set amount of time. It simply rotates it for, in all of these things, set time is used. Set time is used. Wherever set time is or predefined time is being used, that's the open loop system, sir. Whereas if you come to closed loop system, see, sir, what are the examples of closed loop system? If you want to see the examples of closed loop, definitely there will be automation. Automatic products, you can call it as automatic products in which sensing is happening, sir. In which sensing is happening. Now, what is the meaning of sensing happening, sir? I'll give you the best example, sir. Easiest example through which you can understand. The example, if you want to write, you can write, sir, first example AC, air conditioning. If you see in air conditioning, what will happen, sir? There will be definitely a sensor, right? You will set that the room temperature has to be some 23 degrees, 18 degrees or something like that, right? So whenever some person opens the door, if the temperature changes, you might have observed that the fan speed changes, sir. Suddenly it will rush in more cool air, right? So again, from AC to AC, it depends how much time it takes to cool. That's why we have told that we will study in second chapter, that is the time domain specifications, right? So the first best example is the air conditioning. Second example I can say is missile guiding systems. I can say missile guiding system. So whenever you lock on, whenever you play this, whenever you fire this missile, you lock on a particular target. So wherever the target moves, what will happen, sir? Your missile also moves. That means there is the sensing, GPS location sensing of that has been done. If the GPS sensing location of that changes, the missile also changes. That means wherever the control action, actually had to close the loop. So just let me move this all here, sir. I have to close the loop, sir, because I haven't closed the loop yet. So let me close this loop, really sorry. In closed loop, there will be some sensor. See, sir, how will write that sensor? Yes. So some sensing will be happening. See, sir, how will be that sensing happening? Here you will get two inputs, sir. One is this reference input which is coming. The other is with the feedback. You will put a feedback here. The feedback is what, sir? Basically, it's a sensor. So wherever this sensor comes, the automatic thing happens, and this you will get it as this. So it depends on your application, what you are doing to error. In 90% of the cases, you will be making sure that if you want the output to be constant, the input to the controller should be constant. That means the error here should be 0, so that whatever output is there, that has been maintained, right? In open loop, there is no loop closing back. In closed loop, the loop is closing back with a feedback sensor, right? So the best examples are your air conditioning system and your missile guiding systems, right? There can be a lot of other examples also. You just see wherever the sensor is involved, that will become your closed loop system. There is no sensor involved or a set time is used to get the output, then that is called your open loop control system, right? Definitions are important, sir. Make sure you understand this definition. If the controller action, see, sir, here controller action does not depend on output, but here the controller action will depend on output. Say you set the temperature to say 20 degrees, right? If it becomes more than 20 degrees, then what will happen, sir? The compressor has to work and it has to push in more air, right? Similarly, when it decreases, so the sensor tells to the controller that you have to change your input to the plant so that my output will become constant. Whereas here, no, sir, it does not happen, right? Human body is a perfect closed loop control system, sir. Whatever we knowingly or unknowingly, we do a lot of things, sir. That is closed loop control system, right? If your open loop control system, say you are trying to burn your hand, sir, like say you have lighted a matches and you got that particular fire near your finger, then what will happen, sir? That definitely the feedback will go to your mind and it just does this action, that it moves away from that fire, right? If the feedback signal was not going, right, say that signal is not going, sir, right, then what will happen? Your hand will be keep burning and you will not know, you will not notice. That means that is your open loop control system, right? So there will be some questions based on this open loop and closed loop examples. Just check whether the controller action is depending on output or not. If it is depending, then it is definitely closed loop. If it is not depending, it is definitely open loop control systems, right? Very good, sir. Now let us look at some of the advantages and disadvantages of open loop control system and closed loop control systems, right? So this is also a very important question where the theoretical questions will come. So see sir, I will tell you. Right. So open loop control system, if you see, the advantages are it's quite simple to design, sir, right? You hardly need a controller. Buying a controller is easy. You could see, you could just compare with the AC and the refrigerator. You can compare it with the AC and the fan. AC regulator, how much will is that? It will be less costly. The fan also is less costly, right? Compared to the plant, the controller will be less costly, right? So it is simple, it is economical, it does not have stability problems, sir. Generally, there won't be any stability problem corresponding it, right? So when I say stability problems, again I'll tell you what the stability problem is, but it will not have any stability problem. Try to understand that. Now, what is the meaning of, sir, no stability problem? No stability problem means the stability actually depends on your inputs, right, or the plant, right? What, assume you bought a plant which is not stable, right? Then what will happen, sir? Even if you give a control input, the output will be not controlled, right? But if you go to closed loop, then based on the loop closing, it might so happen that your system might become unstable, right? So if your plant, assuming your plant is designed properly, then your open loop system will not have any stability problem. If it is not designed properly, then I cannot comment on it. So it is simple, economical, and no stability problem, right? Whereas when you come to disadvantages, these are the disadvantages are also very prominent here. The disadvantage is accuracy. What is the meaning of accuracy, sir? Getting the output. Accuracy entirely depends on calibration, sir. Accuracy entirely depends on calibration, sir. How, sir? See, sir. Say that this is your controller and this is a plant. Your input is constant, say from here, and for that input the output is constant, you're happy, right? You place this particular control system and ages, some say 10 years, 15 years has gone. Now, as the aging increases, say the equipment or some parameters in these controllers are reducing, right? Due to aging, assume the resistance or the inductance or the capacitance or whatever elements that have been used, they have degraded, sir. That means even without changing the output, your input, say, even without changing the input, your output will be changing. So every once and thens, you will have to check the maintenance. The maintenance has to be done here. Why? Because you have to see whether your controller is working properly or not, right? You might see, you basically, you might have seen some systems where after they age, the delay increases. Why the delay increases? Because the controller has aged. So if you want to get the output right, you have to change or tweak something in the controller. So that's what we'll be doing. Accuracy depends on calibration. If you're well enough calibrated, then the accuracy will be good, right? And the second disadvantage is effect of parameter variation and external noise will be more. Same explanation I can give, sir. Here say, even if your input is not changing, by some reason this controller is changing, right? By some reason this is changing, then the output here will change. If the output here changes, that means the output of the controller or the input of the plant changes. If that changes, your output changes. Even without changing the input, the output is changing. Why will that happen? Because of parameter variations. Because of parameter variations. Whatever parameters are there in this, that can vary, sir. Or here also it can happen. The parameter can vary even in plant. Even in plant, the parameter variations happen. The output will change, right? So that noise mean also what, sir? Noise picking up the noise means, say you have working with a audio system or a very electronic systems. So if some noise or some surge comes, then what will happen, sir? The output changes, right? So that is main problem here. This second point is very important, sir. That external noise and external effect will change my very output rapidly, sir, right? If there is any external noise or external variation of parameters happening, the output will get affected. That means the accuracy will go down. And next, the bandwidth is low, right? Now I'll talk about bandwidth. What is bandwidth? Let me take a small example and talk about bandwidth. But just remember this thing, sir. Remember this particular thing, that gain bandwidth product is constant. I'll tell you how this became constant. Gain bandwidth is equal to constant. This is true in your control system, in your analog systems, wherever you are talking. If you do gain into bandwidth, the output which you are getting will be equal to some constant number, sir, right? That means if your gain is increased, the meaning is what, sir? If the gain is increased, that means your bandwidth should decrease because this is maintained constant, right? So I can say the gain of open loop is more. I can say gain is more. Therefore, I can say my bandwidth has become less. So what's the problem if the bandwidth becomes less? I'll take an example and I'll code this, or you remember it like this. In the coming classes where you talk about frequency response, there these two things will be very understanding, sir, right? Now, this basically low bandwidth happens only in the negative feedback system, sir. I'll talk about negative feedback also. This and this gain reduction is in negative feedback. Right? Now, whatever are the advantages here, they will become opposite. Their disadvantages here. Whatever are the disadvantages here, they will become advantages here. That's why I put up in a single slide. So, see, sir, the advantage of closed loop is what? It is accurate. It is reliable. It reduces the effect of variation of parameters. It increases the bandwidth. See how? Because even if some change happens in your plant or process, even if due to some external noise or due to some external parameter variation, this particular thing changes, then what will happen, sir? Your feedback and your reference input will try to get it back, right? Because there is this extra control action happening from the sensor. But this is not there in your open loop system. That's why this point is important, sir. Remember this point. Similarly, remember this point. Now let me take a small numerical and I'll tell you what's the bandwidth. It's increasing, decreasing like that, right? So reliability increases because the accuracy increases, so reliability also increases. But what is the disadvantage which you get, sir? The disadvantage is it will become expensive. Why will it become expensive? Because you are getting an extra hardware, that is extra sensor is coming up, so it will be definitely becoming expensive and it will be complex to design or to understand, sir, right? Now you can see that the AC repair people and the fan repair people will be different. You will be need to call the urban club fellow for the AC repair, but the fan repair anybody can do near your house, right? So the complexity will increase. If the complexity increases, then the workmanship also increase. Then basically what happens, sir? Your cost will again increase, right? Next, system may lose stability if feedback loop is closed incorrectly. So if your loop is not closed properly, then what happens, sir? Then it might become unstable also, right? Very good, sir. Next I want to talk about is, we have seen what is open loop system, closed loop system. In closed loop system also there are two kinds of systems, sir. Negative feedback control system, negative feedback control system, and the other one is positive feedback control system. So see, sir, what is negative feedback and what is positive feedback? In negative feedback, what will happen, sir? Whatever your G of S is, I can also call as forward path gain. What is G of S called as? Because this is the forward path gain, right? What is H of S, sir? H of S is called feedback gain. What is H of S called as? Feedback gain. And what is this, sir? This is called summer. And it is joining your this fellows and this fellow. And this is your output C of S. This is your output C of S. And this is your input R of S. And your error E of S. Error means how much is the output differing from your reference input is basically your error. If it is negative feedback, you will have minus here, right? Say if it is positive feedback, the positive feedback means this, sir. This is again your forward path gain. This is your feedback gain. And whatever is the error which is coming, that will be added, sir. If the feedback is coming and adding to the reference input, that becomes your positive feedback control system. And if it is getting subtracted, it becomes negative feedback control systems, right? Now, how do you understand what is negative feedback, positive feedback? Just look at this, sir, right? In negative feedback is constant, sir. Basically, whenever you want to maintain something constant, that is negative feedback. Assume you are driving, sir. You are driving a bike. Say you have to maintain at 60 kmph, right? You have to go at a constant speed, right? Suddenly some speed breaker is coming or some other one is coming. So what you will do? You will decrease the acceleration. Once the speed decreases, what happens, sir? You will increase your speed, right? So that you will try to maintain 60. Or when you get an empty road, knowingly, unknowingly, you increase the speed and you cross your 60 kmph. Then what you do, sir? You decrease your acceleration, so you will come back to 40. So whenever negative feedback means what, sir? The error is being subtracted, right? Because see how? So you want to maintain 60 here. So you want to maintain 60 here, right? But say your present speed is 40. So what will happen? Your error will become, this error is some 40 now, and this will become some 60. So this will become some 20. So accordingly, this 20 will get added here and it will become what, sir? 60. Or say this is at 65. So this will be what, sir? This will come to be, say it's a negative feedback 65 and you're getting -5 and this getting -5 here and 60, right? Now these numbers will not make any sense because I'm taking everything as 1. But you just try to understand, sir. In negative feedback system, what will happen is we will try to keep the output constant at a single value. Whenever we have to maintain something constant, we will definitely design it using a negative feedback system. In fact, most of the applications are your negative feedback applications only, sir, right? But positive feedback also has applications. If I want to talk about the negative feedback applications, the first I will tell is the amplifier, sir. Right? And here I want to talk about is you can use it as an oscillator or a Schmitt trigger. Or a clocking device, right? In basically this, what happens, sir? If you get an error here, the error is tried to reduced. Here what happens, sir? The error reduces. But here what happens, sir? Error keeps on increasing. Error keeps on going increasing, sir. Keeps increasing, right? So if you want to understand negative feedback, positive feedback, you can understand like this, sir. In negative feedback, what you do is, negative feedback is kind of good, sir, right? You'll try to keep up your state, whatever it is. Positive feedback is bad. If you do something bad, then bad keeps coming back, and it will become a very big bad number, right? But if you are operating in a negative feedback, if you do something bad also, you can come back to the normal state. If you do something good also, you can come back to the normal state, right? So this is your negative feedback and positive feedback control systems. Now, if I want to see, I can see what kind of effects does my, we can see that what kind of effects will happen to certain parameters like gain, noise, sensitivity whenever you apply a closed loop from an open loop, right? So I will stop this particular class here. In the next class, when we see, we'll come up with a new topic, that is effect of feedback on control systems. So thank you, sir. So that was the lecture, sir. I hope you enjoyed the lecture and gained some knowledge. For more content like this, please subscribe to our channel Octomy and also like and share it with your friends. And if you have any valuable feedback or doubts, you can always write down in the comments. And to watch my entire playlist and the full course, please enroll with us. Thank you, sir.